Let's move on to the next thing. So principle number 5. So yes, we said we had 7 principles for you today. So principle number 5. This is one of the most important principles and one which I believe in. The first thing I want to say to you is you need to believe in yourself. I believe in you, and the reason why I believe in you and I think you have a lot of potential is because you've already come this far. You've already passed many exams at university. You've gone through many challenges to get through your pharmacy degree and even to get your pre-reg, and you've been signed off 39 weeks. You've been signed off to get to this point. So if you've been signed up for all these competencies, then that surely means that you have so much potential and the ability to pass this exam. So all these weeks you've been signed off, this shows that you have what it takes. And by you passing your exam and going through your degree, it shows that you have what it takes and you've done well in other exams. And this pre-reg exam is not really going to be a mountain or this lion. It is just an exam which already shows what you're doing in practice. So it's going to be really easy because it's already what you're doing. And I want you to believe in yourself because you have what it takes to succeed and you were born to succeed. Don't let others put you down. Don't feel down. Don't feel like you're going to fail. Believe in yourself. Why? Because our beliefs are so important and they determine our reality. I mean, you think about it, for example, the placebo effect. The placebo effect, we have people that take an empty pill with no medicine in it and they get healed or they get better or they get well. Why? Even though they didn't take any medication, it was the belief that they were actually taking medications that transform the bodies to produce that healthy result simply through the beliefs. So our beliefs are powerful. And what you believe about yourself is going to transform your body to produce that result. So you've got to start believing in yourself. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you will do it. You will pass this exam. You will do extremely well because you deserve it. Because you deserve nothing but the best. And have faith in yourself. You are good enough. You have what it takes and you can do it. So what I want us to do now is just watch this video very quickly. It's a video that I really like and it sort of gives you a bit of motivation and to get back your confidence. So I want you to watch this video with me very quickly now.
I want our young people to know that they matter, that they belong. So don't be afraid. Do you hear me? Young people, don't be afraid. Be focused. Be determined. Be hopeful. Be empowered. Empower yourselves with a good education, with a lot of hard work and a good education. Anything is possible. And when you encounter obstacles, because I guarantee you, you will, and many of you already have, when you are struggling and you start thinking about giving up, I want you to remember the power of hope. The belief that something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it. Our hope that if we work hard enough and believe in ourselves, then we can be whatever we dream, regardless of the limitations that others may place on us. The hope that when people see us for who we truly are, maybe, just maybe, they too will be inspired to rise to their best possible selves. You need to prepare yourself to be informed, and that means getting the best education possible so you can think critically, so you can express yourself clearly, so you can get a good job and support yourself and your family, so you can be a positive force in your communities. Should never view your challenges as a disadvantage. Instead, it's important for you to understand that your experience facing and overcoming adversity is actually one of your biggest advantages. And I know that because I've seen it myself. In that role, I encountered students who had every advantage. Their parents paid their full tuition, they lived in beautiful campus dorms, they had every material possession a college kid could want, cars, computers, spending money. But when some of them got their first bad grade, they just fell apart. They lost it. Because they were ill-equipped to handle their first encounter with disappointment or falling short. Life will put many obstacles in your path that are far worse than a bad grade. You'll have unreasonable bosses and difficult clients and patients. You'll experience illnesses and losses, crises and setbacks that will come out of nowhere and knock you off your feet. But unlike so many other young people, you have already developed the resilience and the maturity that you need to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep moving through the pain.
Okay, so I hope you watched that video and I hope you got the message out of this video. But the main message is to believe in yourself, and is the importance of believing in yourself and knowing that you can have overcome any challenge that you face, and your pre-reg exam is another challenge that you're facing right now. And just like you overcame other challenges in the past throughout your degree when you're studying, this is just another challenge which you have the tools, the qualities, you have the potential to overcome too. And so I want you to watch this video from time to time just to remind yourself of your greatness, of your uniqueness, and that everything will be fine in this pre-reg exam. Everything will be okay. Okay, you've done it before, others have done it, you can do it too. So we're going to do an exercise to help you with your belief, and what I want you to do now is to write down 3 to 5 achievements which you're very proud of. So write down 3 to 5 things or achievements which you're extremely proud, and these achievements could come from anywhere. It could come from your social life, from when you're at university, when you're younger at school, or just in your family, things you've done for your family, anything which you feel extremely proud about. Today I want you to write down 3 to 5 of these achievements. And the second exercise I want you to do is I want you to write down 2 to 3 exams which you were worried about when you were at university. So 2 or 3 exams which you were worried about before you took the exams. You were stressed, you thought you were going to fail, but you eventually or ended up passing these exams. So write down 2 or 3 exams which you were worried about, which you thought you were going to fail, but you passed those exams at university. The next thing I want you to do is to write down 3 to 5 positive statements about yourself. 3 to 5 positive statements about yourself. Statements like, I am the best, I am intelligent, I am gifted, I am hardworking, I am born to succeed, I am amazing, I am simply the best thing that ever came to earth. So any statements you want, any statements, but just write down 3 to 5 positive things about yourself or things you like to think about yourself. The next exercise is for you to write down a challenge that you once had and you overcame it. So think about one challenge that you once had in the past. It could have been a challenge in any area again. It could be at university. It could be in your private life, in your social life, in your spiritual life, in your financial life. Any challenge that you once had, but you managed to overcome this challenge. So I want you to write this challenge down, and I want you to write down how you overcame this challenge. What did you have to do? What tools did you have to pull out of yourself? What resources did you have to pull out from yourself? Did you have to be courageous? Did you have to believe? Did you have to work hard? Did you have to push yourself? Did you have to enlist the help of others? What did you do to help you overcome this challenge? What resources did you use? What did you have within you that pushed you and made you do it? So I want you to write this challenge down and write these qualities down. And then finally, I want you to complete these statements with positive statements about yourself below. So I want you to write down as many statements as you can, because the more statements you write, the more positivity and the more energy is going to come into you, and the more better you're going to feel, and you're going to enhance your success. So I want you to complete the statement. I am, complete that. I am, and this is going to shape your beliefs. I am, so for example, I've written, I am the best. I am intelligent and talented. I am hardworking. I am amazing. So I want you to put all of this down, okay? I want you to write down, I am, and complete this statement and write so many positive things about beliefs about yourself. Because when you use this statement, I am, that begins to define who you are. And it's very important that any words that follow this statement, I am, have to be positive, because that shapes you. So you want to choose the right words now for you that shape you and that are going to empower you. Again, as I said to you at the beginning of the loop, of the MEP loop, this is one of the parts that are going to help you to get the right thoughts about yourself, the right beliefs, so that they generate those right feelings that you need to propel yourself to an amazing, outstanding performance in the pre-reg exam. So I'm going to give you again a few minutes. You have quite a number of exercises to do, and I want to encourage you to do these exercises. Take your time and do them, because these exercises are very important, and they're going to put you in a peak state and produce the results that you want on the day before the exam, during the exam, and after the exam. Any area of your life, you can still use these techniques, use these skills to succeed. So take your time now and do this exercise. Okay, again, welcome back. I hope you took some time to this exercise. I hope you've done all this exercise and you've written everything down with your pen and paper. And remember them, paste them up in your room, put them in your living room, on in a mirror in your bathroom, anywhere where you can remember them. Okay, and you can see them every single day to remind yourself of these. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the sixth principle, and is how to deal with fear and how to deal with anxiety. This is an area that I'm very excited about, because I had to learn how to deal with fear through a science called emotional intelligence. Now, what most people do, or most of us do, is that we try to fight fear. We move in the opposite direction of fear. So what most people have learned is that when we're going to a pre-reg exam, when you're going to your pre-reg exam, the moment you start walking, leading to the exam, to the room, your heart is going to start beating. Anxiety is going to creep in. You're going to be nervous, and you're going to have these voices in your head saying, oh, am I going to fail? How is it going to be? Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. This is going to be tough. All of these thoughts will start going through. Your heart is going to be beating fast. Your breathing is going to become a bit shallow. These are normal things that are going to happen to everybody. Now, what most students do is they try to fight the fear. So they try to fight it. They try to say, oh no, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be nervous. I don't want to be this. And you try to fight it. Now, what I want to show you is a different way of dealing with fear. Never fight your fear. Learn to use and embrace fear, because fear is there to help you. So when I say direction of fear, it's always move or flow in the direction of fear. Let me give an example so you understand what I mean. I normally demonstrate this in workshops, but unfortunately I can't demonstrate this with you now. But what I want you to just think about, the way I want you to think about this is, have you ever had an argument with someone, or someone has come up to you and try to argue with you, but you're not fighting back? So they say something to you expecting a reaction, but you don't react, and that sort of sets them back. That's exactly how you deal with fear. So I remember once I was working the pharmacy, and a patient came in to complain, and he was furious, and he was a tall guy, about 6'7". He came to the pharmacy and he hit the table and he looked at me and he said, I can't believe you gave me a wrong prescription. Well, I didn't give him the wrong item personally, but he came to me and said, I can't believe you gave me a wrong prescription. And I looked at him and I said, I can't believe they gave you the right prescription. That's true. And I was a bit confused. And he said to me, this is not even acceptable. And I looked at him and I said, you're right. This is not acceptable. No one should be given the wrong medication. It's just not acceptable. And he was trying to get a fight. But each time he said something, I'll agree with him. I wasn't fighting back. And that sort of changed his state. And he thought, wow, this pharmacist is a bit strange. But what happened eventually, he just calmed down and I resolved the problem and he walked off. But the reason why is because he was expecting a fight. So if I tried to fight back and he said, I can't believe you did this, and I went, no, I didn't, it wasn't my fault, I didn't do this, or he said something, he was expecting a reaction. Because I didn't fight, I managed to calm him down simply by not fighting, but by flowing in the same direction as him. So when he goes, yes, I'm angry with this, I said, I understand, and I will be angry too. When he says this is not acceptable, I said, that's true, this is not acceptable. And eventually he calmed down and he was happy and he walked out. So the same thing, don't fight fear. Embrace fear, because there's a science called emotional intelligence. And with emotional intelligence, what you learn is that every emotion has a message it's trying to transmit to you. Every emotion is there to help you. So fear sends a message out, and until you get the message, this emotion is not going to leave you. So fear is sending you a message, is signaling you to prepare yourself for something which is about to happen. That's all fear is. And the more you try to shut this message down and you try to act like you don't want to be scared, I don't want to hear it, it's going to keep pushing and keep pushing until you accept it and you recognize it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to recognize fear. Don't fight it, but feel it. Everyone is fearful, and it's a normal thing to be fearful. So when you walk into your period exam, or when you're leading into the hall and you walk into the hall or into the room, the exam room, once your heart starts beating and you start feeling nervous, don't fight it. Just know and say to yourself, or say to this message, I do this most of the time, even when I'm doing presentations, when I'm doing public seminars and I get on stage, I always have that stage fright. But I just say one thing, once my heart starts beating and I start getting all these fearful things coming through, I recognize the message and I talk to myself and I say, thanks, fear, for reminding me to prepare myself. But don't worry about it, because I am prepared for what's about to happen. I am ready and I will pass. There's nothing to worry about. And when you respond to fear in that manner, you talk to yourself, instantly you feel this burden that's taken away, because your mind recognizes that you recognize the signal and the message it's trying to give you. So don't fight fear. Learn to feel the fear, appreciate the fear, and take action anyway. That's what I do. So when I get on stage to do a presentation, I've got these voices and this nervousness coming to my head. But the first thing I say to myself, I can feel it. I know you're here to help me. Fear, I know you're trying to remind me to be prepared, but don't worry about it. I am prepared and I'm going to have a good time. And once I do that, the fear leaves my body and I'm calm and I'm relaxed and I'm ready to perform outstandingly. So the first thing I want to tell you, what most people do, is they try to fight the fear. But what I want you to start doing is I want you to understand the message that fear is giving to you. I want you to recognize fear and I want you to embrace it and still go on and do the exam. So that's the first thing under emotional intelligence. The second is the way you get rid of fear. I remember I've got a diagram here of a fire walk. And the firewalk experience is very important because a few years ago I attended a seminar by a speaker called Anthony Robbins, an international motivational speaker. And when I went to this seminar, I wasn't aware at the time there was going to be a firewalk at the end of the seminar. And my friend that took me to the seminar told me it's just a normal seminar and I'm going to listen and learn a few things, and then after that we're going to go home. And towards the end of the seminar, this 6'7" giant motivational speaker on stage, pounding his chest like King Kong, stands up and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now walk on fire." And I hear this whole auditorium of about 8,000 people screaming, "Yeah, fire!" At this point, I'm like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? No way. And there was a little lady next to me and she was screaming, "Yeah, fire, fire." And so I was so scared. I said to myself, how can I walk on fire? Burning hot coals. This is impossible. I was so scared. But what Anthony Robbins taught us is that to deal with fear, you need to change your state. And change of state simply means you change your physiology, you change your breathing, you change your body language. So you have to be upright, you have to change your breathing, and then the second thing is you change what we call internal representations. So internal representations are the things that you're saying to yourself in your head. So these are the two things you need to change to overcome fear. And I'm going to show you exactly how this relates and how you can use this for your pre-reg exam on the day of the exam. So what he said to me was, we all went outside and there was this massive pile of hot coal, burning hot coal by one of the highest degrees I've ever felt. And all of a sudden, I had these people walking over there and we all lined up and people were screaming. And so the first thing he told us, we had to go change our state. And changing your body state means you change the way you breathe. And we had to go, kulmos, whoosha, and move your body, okay? And what this does is that it changes your state. So he showed you to deal with fear. The first thing you do is you change your body language. You change your breathing, you change your posture. And the second thing is you change the negative words in your mind to something positive. You change that straight away. So when you change your body and you change your mind or your internal representations, you overcome fear. And so I did that, and I changed my body from being scared with a scared physiology, with this nervous, this shallow breathing, with this sort of cramped body language and this negative voices saying, oh, I'm going to burn, I'm going to burn, I'm going to burn. Instantly, I changed my body language to this wide stance. I pumped my heart up, deep breathing. I felt strong and I said to myself, I'm going to do it. Yes, let's go. And I walked over the fire and I walked over hot coal. And it wasn't as bad as I thought. I enjoyed the experience and every single person enjoyed the experience. And I did it over and over and over again. And no one got burned. But what I learned from this was how to deal with fear. So the first thing you do is you accept fear, you take the message, then you change your state. You need to change your body language from a nervous, anxious body language, change your breathing, change your posture into a more confident, a more powerful body language, and then change your internal representations. Change what you're saying to yourself instantly. And when you combine those two, you automatically change. A good way is to think about it as when you get into a fight, or when you're sitting down and someone makes you very angry, is about to fight with you. One of the first things most people do, what do they do when they want to get into a fight, is that they change the body language instantly. You will notice that they'll breathe different, they'll stand up tall, spread themselves out wide, and they're ready to go. And they'll say something to themselves like, I'm going to knock you out, or you've got no chance, or I'm the best, or I'm going to hit you, or whatever. But you change what you say to yourself, you change your physiology. A good place that this happens is that you see most people, what most students do, or what most people do, is that when they're stressed, they go out for a cigarette. So most smokers go for a cigarette to reduce the stress. Now, what they don't know is that the reason why the cigarette helps to reduce stress, it's not because of the cigarette itself, it's not because of the nicotine, it's simply because when you take that first puff, what happens? You go, the first thing that changes is your breathing. From a nervous state, shallow breathing, to a deep, relaxed breathing. And once your breathing changes, your state changes. And then the second thing you say to yourself in your head is, I feel better. This is good. I'm ready to go. And so the smokers think the cigarette has put them in a better state, and now this cigarette is the magic formula. But truly, what happened is to change the physiology, change the breathing, to change the posture, even change the environment, and then to change the internal representations, what they were saying to themselves in their head. And once you do that, you change your state. And that's how you change a state from a state of fear to a state of confidence. Simply by changing a fearful physiology or a fearful body language which is normally you're breathing, you're shallow, you're sitting down, you're nervous, you're shaking, you're saying negative things to yourself about how you're going to burn or how you're going to fail or how this exam is going to be tough. You need to change that instantly, radically, into this more confident body language where you stand up tall, you put your head out, you roll out your shoulders, you breathe deep, you say something positive to yourself. I am ready for this, I am the best, and I'm going to pass. And once you do that, you'll notice a complete difference and you overcome your fear. And finally, is a technique that I call emergency replacement technique, ER technique. What this means is that you need to shut down the negative voice. You need to replace the negative pattern, the internal representation. So the moment you change your body language and you put yourself in a confident state, the next thing you want to do is want to replace that negative voice instantly with a positive thing. That's what we call emergency replacement, because it has to be done instantly. It's an emergency. So I'll show you how to use this when you're in the exam and you see anything negative, anything that affects your state, that makes you feel you're going to fail or makes you feel like this is going to be difficult, or any negative voice. The first thing you do is you shut it down. You move your body, you say no to this, and then you instantly think of the positive thing. And that's why I keep getting you to do all these exercises. I keep telling you, write all of these things down so that you have so many positive things at your disposal. So that the moment the negative voice comes to your head or the negative state, instantly you can change it consciously just by thinking of one of these positive things and saying to yourself, no, I'm going to pass. So when you walk into that exam and you've seen somebody else that is reading something you've not read, a topic you've not done, then, and your voice says in your head, oh my God, you're not ready. You didn't do this, and this is going to come up in the exam. You're going to feel instantly, you shut it down. You shut it down instantly and say, I'm going to pass. I don't need to know everything to pass the exam. I'm still going to pass. So that you have every single positive statement. So you have about 5 or 10 positive statements to counteract every negative statement that comes to your head. And that's literally what I do on a day-to-day basis, the emergency replacement technique. The moment I get a negative statement, I have about 10 statements at my disposal that just rush through and just destroy the statement. And that's the sort of conditioning you need to have. And so when I show you all these things and I tell you to do these exercises, it's so that if you do them correctly and you do them perfectly and you pace them up and you look at them every single day, then what you've literally done is you've conditioned your mind for success. You've conditioned your mind to overcome fear. And then now when any negative thing comes in, one negative statement, you have about 10 or 20 positive that just rush through and just smash it out. This is how you deal with fear. This is how you deal with anxiety. So do the exercises and stick to them.